Coming up tonight on DuckTV News, the Oregon Daily Emerald prepares for a revolution.
The Holy Festival of Colors hit campus again, how UO students took part in this Indian celebration of spring.
Plus, is drinking coffee every day really that bad for you? A recent study says there may actually be some big benefits.
All of this and more coming up on tonight's edition of DuckTV News. Thanks for tuning in to tonight's edition of DuckTV News. I'm Judith Akiwa.
And I'm Sid Dutcher. For our lead story tonight, DuckTV News takes a closer look at another student news outlet on campus, the Oregon Daily Emerald. To keep up with technology, the student newspaper plans to undergo a revolution in time for next fall. Susie Meyer has more.
After over a century of being a daily newspaper, the Oregon Daily Emerald is going through some serious changes. Starting next year, the Emerald will become a 16-page, twice-weekly magazine. There will also be a strong emphasis on growing the Emerald's online presence.
On the online side, what we call a speed team, and they're going to be a group of 5 reporters and just report breaking news. They are going to be given backpacks with iPads, cameras, audio recorders, I think, and so they're going to be able to just go out and report the story and do everything themselves.
Students will be able to go to the website and read breaking news throughout the day, every day. Reports will continue throughout the weekend, and the staff will increase to meet these new goals.
We'll be able to give readers, quick news, and then also give them something thorough and in-depth, good journalism.
You can keep yourself updated by visiting dailyemerald.com. Reporting for DuckTV News, I'm Susie Meyer.
Thanks, Susie. Hopefully this new format will encourage more students to stay up to date in campus news.
In other campus news, the University of Oregon's Student of the Indian Subcontinent put on their annual Holi Festival this past Thursday. The Holi Festival is traditionally observed in India and other parts of Asia to celebrate the coming of spring. The students of the Indian Subcontinent program provided white t-shirts, water, powdered dye, and musical entertainment for the participants. The Holi Festival is celebrated by Hindus mainly in India. However, the way the festival is celebrated varies by region in the country, but the spirit of the festival remains the same across the world. Holi has social significance to the Hindu religion as it provides a time for the society to gather and strengthen the bonds of its members, that even your enemies turn into friends. The event was held on the Knight Library lawn as it has been in years past. The celebration was free and open to Eugene community and all university students.
This weekend, the ASUO's Women's Center is hosting the 11th annual Out Loud Queer Women's Music Festival. The festival is the largest of its kind in the Pacific Northwest and will feature an array of musical guests, food carts, and even a beer garden. Join the LGBTQA community and friends this Saturday, June 9th, down at the Kesey Square. Tickets are $8 for students and $10 for the general public.
This weekend, Hayward Field hosted one of the premier track and field meets in the United States. Kaylee Pence has more on the event and the history behind it.
Originally called the Hayward Field Restoration Race, in 1975 the name was changed to the Prefontaine Classic after legendary University of Oregon long-distance runner and Olympian Steve Prefontaine died in a car accident a week prior to the meet. Since 2000, it has been ranked first among all annual track and field meets outside of Europe by the IAAF, the international governing body for the sport. Athletes must be ranked in the top 50 in the world in their events to be eligible to compete in this elite track and field showcase. Although Prefontaine is internationally known and recognized, very few students know about his accomplishments.
I know he was an amazing runner who died very young, unfortunately, from Coos Bay.
He was a very popular Oregon runner during the 80s.
Prefontaine was born in Coos Bay, Oregon in 1951 and attended the University of Oregon from 1970 to 1973. He won the NCAA Men's Cross Country Championship 3 of his 4 years at Oregon. He participated in the 1972 Summer Olympics in Munich, running long distance in the 5,000-meter race. Prefontaine will always be remembered at the University of Oregon as a legendary track star and credited for sparking the running boom of the 1970s. Reporting for DuckTV News, I'm Kaylee Pence.
Thanks, Kaylee. Each year, the Prefontaine Classic hosts some of the world's greatest athletes. I can't wait to see who comes out next year.
It was a car accident that led to Prefontaine's tragic death in the 70s, and unfortunately it appears that many people are still not taking the dangers of driving seriously. During Memorial Day weekend, 61 drivers were ticketed for driving under the influence in Oregon. Now that summer is approaching, consumption of alcohol during vacation is more of a concern. The most dangerous consequence that comes from drinking is the risk of driving under the influence. Now that summer is approaching, consumption of alcohol during vacation is more of a concern. The most dangerous consequence that comes from drinking is the risk of driving under the influence. It's never safe to operate a car under the influence of any alcohol. However, it is legal to drive under a blood alcohol concentration level of 0.08 in Oregon. Blood alcohol content depends on a number of factors, including gender, weight, and even how much food was consumed before drinking. It's not the same for everyone, and it's important to know your personal limits. One of the 3 deaths that occurred due to drunk driving over the Memorial Day weekend was a Eugene man riding a bicycle. Be especially careful riding a bike at night, and do everything you can to make sure drivers can see you. Remember that bikers themselves can also get DUIs. If you're under the influence, just don't take a chance.
Good news for all you coffee junkies out there. New studies are giving you a reason to feel good about your morning cup of joe. While many studies focus on the negative effects of coffee consumption, new research shows it in a positive light. The study conducted by the Nutritional Epidemiology Branch of the National Cancer Institute in Maryland found that drinking coffee actually may be linked to living longer. Dr. Neil Friedman investigated the correlation between coffee drinking and mortality rates in over 400,000 people. The results showed that drinking 2 to 3 cups of coffee a day can increase a man's lifespan by 10% and a woman's by 13%. This outcome may give us a good reason to continue to indulge in this caffeinated beverage.
Oxford University has found that taking an aspirin a day can significantly reduce the risk of cancer and its spread throughout the body by about 40 to 50%. While the efforts of this study may be groundbreaking, results have not been noticeable until 8 to 10 years after the start of treatment. In addition, taking this amount of aspirin can also increase the risk of internal bleeding. More research is currently being conducted, and it is advised that you talk to a doctor before starting any sort of daily pill plan.
On May 31st, University of Oregon alumni Mike Donahue retired from anchoring for KOIN Local 6 in Portland, Oregon. Donahue first announced his retirement in March, and his final broadcast aired a retrospective on his 42-year history with the network. At the end of the broadcast, Donahue was awarded the Golden Mike Award, the highest standard of journalistic achievement at KOIN News. Tonight we say goodbye to one of our producers, Sid Dutcher, who will be graduating in a couple of weeks. We wish you the best of luck.
Thanks, Judith. I've had a great year, and I can't wait to see DuckTV News next year in the fall.
Thank you. This concludes tonight's edition of DuckTV News. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope to see you again in the fall. I'm Judith Akiwa.
And I'm Sid Dutcher. Have a great summer.